It's Tutorial Thursday. I'm really hoping that I post this on Tutorial Thursday, y'all. I hope y'all are watching this on Friday because it's posted on Thursday. But if not, please, I'm gonna get better. Anyway, hey y'all, welcome back to Crochet with MeMiMade. I'm your host, Jamie, aka Jigga, aka Mimi. And today we're gonna be doing this highly anticipated two-tone crochet beanie, honey. Yeah, y'all, we just gonna get right into it. I don't want to talk y'all heads off. Like, comment, subscribe. We have fun over here at Crochet with MeMiMade. Yeah, join my Patreon account. I don't really know what's going on over there on Patreon just yet, but I know when I do find out, I don't want y'all to miss out. So join my Patreon account and yeah, y'all, have fun. Let's get into it. Okay, y'all, so first things first, all of our materials, you're going to need 2 skeins of yarn in any 2 colors of your choice, whatever colors you want to make your hat, and make sure it's a weight 4 yarn. I'm using pink box yarn, Simply a Ram. Then you're going to need a pair of scissors, tapestry needle, 4.0 millimeter hook, and your measuring tape. And once you got all that, let's get into it and have some fun. Just choose what color you want your main color to be for the hat. So, and then the other color will just be the secondary color, which will be on both sides of your ears. So, I'm going to be doing this pretty color. This color is actually, it's color 254, y'all, on Love Crafts, if y'all interested in this color. Okay, so first things first, we're going to take our yarn. What we do, we create our slip knot. Okay, I'll do that one more time for my beginners. You can take that yarn, wrap it around 2 fingers, wrap it around like so, so that now you have an X. And then you're going to take your hook, this is optional, bring it underneath that first loop, pull that other loop from underneath, and then you're going to pull your fingers out, and that's one way to create a slip knot. Another way is just wrap it around your 2 fingers like we did before. You got your X, then you're just going to take this strand and pull it under this strand. So I'm just going to grab that and pull it like that. And then since it's a little big, we're just going to take this part of the yarn, the longer part, the longer side of the yarn, and pull it. Okay. Take our hook, insert it, just pull it so that it's on there nice and securely. And we'll chain 50. To do a chain stitch, you're just going to wrap the yarn around your hook, pull through that loop, wrap your yarn around that hook, pull through that loop one more time, wrap your yarn around that hook, pull through the loop. Okay, now we're just going to do 47 more to get to 50. And then once you get to your 50 chains, I'll meet you back here for the next step. Okay, I have my 50 chains here. And now we're just going to do half double crochets for the remainder of the hat. But first we have to start with this row. We're going to skip the first chain and go into the second chain from the hook. Okay, to do a half double crochet, you're going to wrap your yarn around your hook, and we're going into the second chain from the hook. You're going to insert your hook into that chain. You're going to pull up a loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Then you're just going to wrap your yarn around the hook again and pull through all 3. Oops. And I'll show you that one more time. You're going to wrap your yarn around your hook, insert your hook into that chain, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn around the hook, pull through all 3. And you're going to do 44 half double crochets total. Okay, and once you do those 44 half double crochets, you'll have 5 stitches left over, and I will meet you once we have our 5 stitches. once you've done your 44 half double crochets and you have your 5 chains left, we're going to do single crochets in the remaining stitches, okay? So to do a single crochet, you're just going to insert your hook into that chain, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook, wrap around, pull through 2. And you'll do that for the remaining stitches. Okay, and this is what our first row will look like. Y'all probably are all familiar with this. Now we're just going to do our second row. So for the second row, you'll just chain 1, turn your work, working in the back loops only. Y'all know the drill. If you've been with me, working in the back loops only for the remainder of the hat. We're going to do our 5 single crochets just as we did in the previous row. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? For the remainder of row 2, we're just going to do our 44 half double crochets in our back loops only. Back loops only. Okay? And you'll just continue with your half double crochets, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, and this is what row 2 looks like, right? Okay, and for the remainder of the hat, you're just going to continue to do that same pattern. You'll chain 1, turn your work, do those 44 half double crochets, then you'll do 5 single crochets, then you'll chain 1, turn your work, do 5 single crochets, and then 44 half double crochets, and you'll continue that for the remainder of the hat. Here comes the fun part before we add our pop of color on both sides. Do as many rows as you need so that when your hat stretches, it aligns in the front of both ears. So I'll insert a clip right here too to show you exactly what I mean. Just make sure that it aligns right near your ears because the pop of color will align right at the top of each ear. You're then going to take your next color, your pop of color that you want to go on the side, and you're going to create a slip knot. And we're going to reattach this to our project. So we're going to start, whether you ended at the bottom or the top, depending on how many rows you did, you're just going to insert your hook, okay? Then you're going to pick that yarn up that you want to use, add that onto the hook, and then you're going to pull that loop through. Then you're going to tug on the other color yarn so that it's tight. Now you're just going to chain 1, turn your work. Don't worry about it being super perfect right here. As I'm half double crocheting down this row, I'm just going to hide this tail. And I'll do that by doing my half double crochet as regular, but grabbing on to that tail as well. Okay, I'm gonna tug on that, and then I'm just gonna do the same thing, grabbing that yarn tail all the way down until it's hidden. Okay, don't worry about this one because we're just going to hide this tail when we're all finished with our hat. Okay, and then you're just going to do 2 rows with your secondary color. So I'm going to do this first row, do the second row, and I'll meet y'all back after I've done 2 rows in this second color. Okay? Okay. Okay, our hat is coming along, y'all. This is what y'all should look like. 2 more rows on the ends. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, you can save this. You don't actually have to do 2 more rows on this side. I just do it because I like to start from the top, go to the bottom, and then from the bottom to the top, so I could weave in my tail at the top instead of the bottom. I really don't like weaving in tails, y'all. I can't stand it. I don't want to say hate, but I really don't like weaving in tails. So, but I'd rather weave in tails from the top than I would the bottom. Either way, we're going to be just fine. So now what you're going to do is take and cut both colors of yarn. And then you're going to insert your hook back into that loop. You're going to chain one, so you can just pull that loop through and then pull it to tighten and secure it. Now we're going to take our pop of color again, and we're going to do this side. So y'all know the drill. We just going to create our slip knot and reattach our yarn, but this time I'll be reattaching from the top. So this is just the side that we started from. We're just going to put our second pop of color on this side. So I'm just going to find my very, very first stitch, okay, which is right here. I'm going to insert my hook. Then I'm going to take my second color and pull it over the hook, pull it tight, and then I'm just going to pull that through. And then I'm going to chain one, and then I'm going to turn my work like so. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to hide this orange color since I'm working with the orange. But make sure it's going to be a little different from the other side, but you can still see your loops. So you're going to go in your first loop and create a single crochet, grabbing that second color. Okay. Going through that loop here, you can see it there. Grabbing it, doing those 5 single crochets. Oops. Okay. And then you're going to do 44 half double crochets, right? For the remainder, going in these ribs. Ooh, child, I need my nails done. You can see the loops here. You're just going to go in each loop, putting in those half double crochets. And then with this, you're going to do 2 more rows as well. So I'll meet y'all back after y'all do those 2 rows. The second row will be a little easier because you'll be back with those stitches you're used to working with. And I will see y'all after our 2 rows. I take forever to just let y'all go. I just want to make sure y'all really got it. But I'll see y'all soon after 2 rows. Okay. Okay, now we did our 2 rows on this side, and this is what it should look like. So cute. Okay, now we're just going to reattach our yarn to the same side we just ended with. Once again, because we're switching back, and we're just going to create our slip knot. Then we're going to insert our hook back into the loop, reattach our yarn. We're just going to pull that loop right through, okay? Then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to turn our work. Make sure that you're grabbing that secondary color and just tugging on it so that it's tight. I'm going to turn my work here. And now I'm just going back in my back loops only, doing my single crochets, and I'm grabbing that other color. Okay. Don't worry about your tails because we're going to get them at the end. So I did my 5 single crochets, and then I'm going to continue to do my half double crochets. Okay, y'all, so before we continue, because as we go on, we're going to start to increase in our size of the hat and be done. So you're just going to try this on again by placing this on the front of your head, making sure that those 2 pops of color align with your ears. If it's a little bit up or a little bit back, that's okay. Just make sure that it's not aligning by your temple or your forehead. Okay, so once you find that out, you're just going to continue to do the same amount of rows that you started with to close the hat. So if you started out with 22 rows in the main color, you'll do 22 rows to close. Okay, so as many as you started with, that's what you'll end with. Once you get all those, I will meet y'all back here so that we can close it. Okay, y'all, so once y'all have done as many rows as you needed, you're just going to take your measuring tape and we're going to double check, triple check, quadruple check, y'all, just to make sure that it stretches to the circumference of your head or whatever size you're doing. So I'm just taking my lighting. I'm just going to stretch it out to see where it stops. Mine stops right at 23, a little over 22, at 23, if y'all can see it, my lighting. Okay, and then once you have that, it's going to be time to close it. And just a quick tip, if you need to add more rows, don't take this entire side out, y'all. Just take this pop of color out so that way you're able to add on or frog more rows if needed for your size. Okay, just a quick tip and trick. All right, and now we're just going to close our head. So because we're going to have to turn it inside out, whatever side you want to be your front, you'll have to flip inside out. So you'll be working on the outside. So I'm just going to fold my head over like this. Insert my hook into that last stitch at the bottom of that row. Insert my hook back into that loop. And then I'm going to take my yarn, wrap it around, and pull through both loops. Okay. Now we're just going to do single crochets up the entire hat. But we're going to go through the first 2 loops on one side. On the other side, we're going to go through that back loop only. So the front, you're going to go through both loops. The back, you're going to go through the back loop only, creating single crochets. Okay, and you'll continue to do that all the way up the hat. And I'll meet y'all there to close the very tippy top of our hat. And there we have it. Now you're just going to take your scissors, cut your yarn, insert that hook back into that loop. And then just chain 1 and tug on it. These tails, we're going to hide all of those. We're going to take our main color and our tapestry needle. And we're just going to put our main color right through our needle as long as you need to securely close the top of your head. Okay, I'm going to make mine kind of long because I'd rather have more than less. I'm gonna cut it so it aligns. Make sure that it aligns, and then you're just going to create a knot, and then we're going to create another knot to make sure that it's secure. And I'm just going to make sure I'm going to pull on that knot so that it's on top of the initial knot that I created. Okay. Now these may be in the way, y'all, and feel free to hide these before you start, but make sure your head is still inside out. And you're going to start, I'm going to start right here next to where I ended, inserting my tapestry needle through the back and then coming through the front and then going through the back, front, back, the front. I'm just going to pull that yarn. Okay, and then we're just going to continue doing the same thing all the way around. Okay, and once you make it back to where you started, your hole is probably not all the way closed. So you're just going to go around again. Okay. Just go around in a circular motion again, all the way around the top. Okay. Doesn't have to be, just go through the top. It doesn't have to be back and forth. Just go through the top. Okay, you can even go straight across like so. So we're getting that baby closed up. Oops. Okay. You can go this way in the opposite direction. Make sure you're staying at the tippy top. Okay. And then I'm just going to take a peek on the other side, see what we got. And this is what it looks like. Just gotta hide my tails, but it should look something like this, okay? If it doesn't, you just want to continue to go around in a circular motion, right? And when you're finished, you're going to just go through one more time, anywhere secure, the top of the head, pull it through halfway, pick up your yarn, and you're going to create a knot by taking this tapestry needle and pulling through the yarn to create a knot at the top. Feel free to create one more knot for security, but I feel like mine is tight enough. So I'm just going to take my scissors and cut my yarn just enough so that I can hide the tail. So now I'm just going to hide my tails off camera, y'all, because I'm not the best at hiding tails and it takes me a little longer. But once I do, I'll come back and we'll flip it inside out. Okay, I took and hid my tails and then we can flip it inside out. Right, that looks good. And there we have it. Okay, you can fold it, you can wear it long ways. You can fold it and wear it this way as well. And that is it, y'all. I thank y'all so much for watching, for tuning in yet again. What are some more things y'all want to see? I'm open to all ideas. Comment down below. As always, be safe and I'll see y'all next time. Mwah.